Right, let's take you back now to the Union Buildings, where our foreign editor Sophie Mokoena is standing by, keeping a close eye on that state visit, of course, for Chinese President Xi Jinping.
Well, thank you, Naledi. Indeed, we are here at the Union Buildings. The ministers have arrived, particularly ministers from South Africa. I saw the Minister of Police. I saw the Minister of Electricity, who I will speak to after my conversation with the Minister of International Relations, Dr. Naledi Pandor, who joins me now. Minister, I know that it is a state visit, a quite important one. The focus?
Well, primarily the focus is the celebration of the very strong ties between South Africa and China, which have subsisted in the 30 years of open democracy that we have in South Africa. So we're celebrating that anniversary of a very important point. But of course, the matters of trade are always key for South Africa. We're focused on increasing economic growth in our country, and we'll be discussing various initiatives that ministers have been pursuing with their colleagues in the Chinese government. We'll also be looking at the matter of skills development, where China has played an important role providing scholarships to our young people. Then the global context, as you know, China has put forward a set of proposals related to securing peace between Ukraine and Russia. President Ramaphosa has been part of the Africa Peace Initiative, and I think there is a need to look at how we can achieve some form of coordination between the different efforts directed at securing peace. The G20 is coming up in September, and we would want to share perspectives on the approaches to the themes that have been elaborated by India for the G20 Summit meeting, and looking at, as you know, the often robust discussions around the final declaration. Following G20, we proceed to the United Nations General Assembly, in which we hope President Ramaphosa will participate this year. And as chair of BRICS, he will at that assembly convene the BRICS presidents as per normal practice to continue the deliberations they would have had here in Johannesburg.
Moving to BRICS, the foreign affairs ministers have arrived. I saw Foreign Affairs Minister of Russia, Sergei Lavrov, arriving this morning. How far are you with the documents, the declaration, and the issue of expansion? I mean, everybody's saying, no, wait, Minister, we can't wait.
No, you wait a little bit more. You'll have a sense of where we are very, very soon, I think in a matter of 48 hours or even sooner. We're more or less two-thirds in agreement. There are just one or two issues that we wish to iron out. We'll be meeting later today as the foreign ministers. Our colleague, Minister Jai Shankar of India, will arrive early this afternoon, and the five of us will convene and discuss further.
Thank you for your time, Minister. I just want to speak to Minister of Electricity. Thank you so much, Minister. We'll continue our discussions. And please, let's talk after the Foreign Affairs Ministers meeting.
We have the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. Let's get the Minister of Electricity. Just one question in relation to China assisting South Africa on electricity, as I pointed out this morning. Minister, key points in terms of China SA on issue of electricity. You have a huge problem.
Oh yes, we have been engaging with them for a considerable period of time. We went to China, so we know the kind of package of assistance they are giving us, especially targeted at the major public facilities, hospitals, clinics, and correctional services. So the principals will announce. We have finished all the technical preparation. The equipment is on its way. We should be able to do over 300 to 400 of these facilities. So that's a tangible, if you like, return. And what that does, because it's a combination of generators, gasoline, and also diesel, and what we call power vehicles, and and then also solar PV, batteries and inverters. What that does is that it's going to relieve the load on the grid, because these facilities will now use alternative sources, and therefore it means that there's no pressure on the grid, and then we can relieve the degree of load shedding. And the last one is on the issues around the technical assistance and the financing of the expansion. For an example, on the transmission side, the distribution side, many municipalities, as I speak to you.
Where is our problem? Is it transmission, distribution? What's...
No, it's across. It's across the ecosystem. It's just that the focus in the country was on the generation side. If we resolve load shedding now, as I speak to you, there are many communities that don't have electricity as I speak to you. Ditowotla is one good example, some communities there. So yes, that's what we want to resolve. We want to resolve across the ecosystem.
The last one, I'm going to doorstop the finance minister. You know, he has just returned from the G20, but you know the issue of the currency, a topical issue. Minister, you know, and we are live on SABC. This debate, can you put it in context? Some people are saying it's the new currency. Others are saying using the national currencies. Just on that, Minister.
Let me just give you an example. Last week, the New Development Bank raised 1.5 billion in rands, which means they are going to finance South African projects, their pipeline in rands. Although 1.5 billion is small compared to their pipeline. So that's the language we're talking about. We've been arguing in the NDP that the NDB must be able to finance projects in local currencies. In other words, you can't finance a project in China in dollars, can't finance a project in South Africa in dollars. For obvious reasons, they're also not only about de-dollarization, is currency fluctuations, to mitigate the effect of currency fluctuations.
Thank you for your time, Minister. I think we will continue on issues of the G20 in the coming weeks, Minister, as you head to India. Infrastructure, perhaps any announcement or agreement that we can expect, Minister, on infrastructure?
Yes, as you know, we are expanding and continuing with our program on small harbors. We have agreed with the Chinese Republic that they will support us. They've done very well in terms of oceans economy. So there will be an announcement on the support when it comes to the construction of small harbors in Northern Cape, Eastern Cape and KwaZulu-Natal.
Thank you so much, Minister Zikalala. That was the Minister of Infrastructure in South Africa, Sihle Zikalala, talking about the agreements in relation to infrastructure. We had the Minister of Electricity. He's quite happy. As I pointed out this morning and the days ago, that China has made a firm commitment to assist South Africa in relation to electricity challenges. And President Xi Jinping even making a commitment that this BRICS Summit will not be a dark BRICS Summit. Back to you, Naledi.
Yeah.